Alright guys, today we are talking about steps up, steps down, and whether or not, if it's not a step up or down, then it is not a step. And it's called something else, and we have names for all the different things that they are, but we are not going over them today. Okay, so a step up is, as we know from our Vocabulary 2 sheet, which you can find right there. Okay, a step up is from a line to a space or a space to a line going up on the staff. And it needs to be the very next line or space. And a step down is from a line to a space or a space to a line going down on the staff. Okay, so what this means is these are all steps up. As you can see on my music software, it's not showing me any other options in between that line or that space that I am drawing it on. Okay, so and as you hear it, it does go up as we start down below. So that's our first note. Second note, it's a step up and it's going up in pitch as well. Right? Next step up, it also goes up in pitch. Okay, so let's investigate more. What does it mean to go from a line to a space or a space to the next line? So right here, this one is on line 1. Okay, and if you don't remember what lines, which line or space it is, go back and watch lecture 2 for vocabulary 2. So this one starts on that bottom line, and then it goes up to the very next space, which is space 1. Then we can go up to the very next line, and then the very next space. Okay, so we go line, space, line, space, line, space, and it has to be the very next one. I can't go line to that space up there, because then this space that is up here, it is not going to be working very well for us. Let me try turning down that music for a little, or the sound of the piano a little bit for you. Okay, so this one is not from a line to the very next space. You can see there's a lot of distance between these notes. And remember, when we're looking at this, we are looking just at the note heads, not the plain, not the notes with the, or not the part with a stem. We're looking at just the note heads. All right. So I was showing you the note head right now is the part that is staying the same. Okay, that's the note head right there. And then I'm going to add the stems to them. Those are the stems. We don't worry about the stems for talking about pitch, how high and low it is. The stems tell us about our rhythms, like we learned about with Vocabulary 1. Okay, so let me re-put these as steps. Okay, so these are steps up. Line, space, line, space. Okay, let's create some steps going down. Starting on line 5, then I can go to space 4, line 4, space 3, line 3, space 2, line 2, space 1, line 1. All right, and let me zoom out and get you where you can see all of those steps together. Okay, so you can see right here we have all of our steps down all together. But we're starting on the highest line and going to the next space below it. Okay, and also pay attention when we have these steps, what that looks like as the stem flips upside down. It makes no difference where the stem is. We just care about, once again, for our steps, all we care about is where are these note heads. Okay? So there are the stems back on it. And those are steps up and down. So let's take a look at some examples of it. I'm going to go right there to right there. Is that a step up or down, or not a step? Okay, that one is a step. We go from that space to that line, and they're right next to each other. Now this one, is this a step? Okay, your first thing when you're trying to determine is it a step or not is, does it have from a space to a line or line to a space? If it doesn't, then it can't be a step. This one is from a space to a space. So it is not a step. Okay, this one is not a step. Okay, and that one. Okay, that is from a line to a line, so it can't be a step. All right, let's take a look at a few more. All right, so right here, a line to a space. Great. That one is a line to the very next space. That one is a step up. Okay, or space to a line. This one, notice how it's now going down. This one is also a step. And that one is a step down. Let's do another step down. Right there. That one is a step down between these two notes. Okay, now if I take a look at these two notes, that's not a step, right? Between those two notes, between these two notes, that is a step. Okay, and let's do a few more. Okay, going in between these two notes here, that one is not a step because we go from a space to a space. Okay. All right, so now that we know what steps are and what steps are not, we need to be able to take our steps and use our music alphabet with it to be able to label these notes. Okay, these repeating patterns of sounds that we have, we labeled them A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Okay, so what happens is I'm going to pick a random number for this one. So I'm going to say that it is an F. Okay, so if I step up from F, let me pull up another document. All right, so here is our music alphabet. So if I step up from F, I'm going to the right. If I'm going up, then that would be a G for that next note. Okay, and up from a G, oh, we've fallen off the cliff, so we need to go back to the beginning. After G is A. Okay, and then what's after A? It's B, C, D, E, F, G. Now these are not the actual names of the notes on the treble clef or any other clef. Okay, these are just the names that we have selected based off of our random starting note. The one thing that we do know about these, as we start from the left and go stepping up to the right, it's going to go up. All right, so let's start again on this note, and that will be, we'll call it a B. Okay, so we go B, A would be to the left of B. All right, and when we step down, we go to the left. So we started on B, we went to the left one, that's an A. Okay, and once again, we're falling off the cliff. There's nothing to the left of the A, so then we go to the G. We start over at the opposite side. Make sure it's at the opposite side. And you don't go A, B, A. A, B, G is on the opposite side of A. Then once again, we're stepping down, so it needs to go F. And then if you're like me, you probably don't know your alphabet backwards as well. So you flip back and or look back and forth between your alphabet and you go one to the left. So we're at D, we go to C now. Okay, we're at C, we go to B, and we're at B, we go to A. Okay, and once again, these are not the actual letter names of these lines and spaces on the treble clef or any other clef. This is just what we're saying it is based off of putting notes onto the staff and choosing a random letter to start with, and then seeing which letter names come after that. Okay, when music was first starting to be developed, writing it down, this was the sort of thing that they were actually doing, was deciding on one particular note, and then you go up or down from there, and you put your staff around that. So listen to this. That's the highest one, and we know that it goes down. Okay, so as we go stepping down, the notes also go down. All right, so let's take a look at what that looks like. This is much more like your assignment now. Okay, so we're going to have a random first letter. Let's say it's D right there. Let's say that this one is a G. Let's say that this one is a B. And let's say that this one is an E. All right, so I'm going to do these 3 notes right here. Okay, so all of this is steps up. So we have a D. Well, steps are other things up. We have a D right here. So we need to get to that next one. And that next one is a step up, right? We have space to a line, and we just step up from D. A, B, C, D, E would be to the right of the D. Okay, so that would be D to E. All right, let's take a look at this next one. Okay, these 2 notes right there. Our first one is a G, and on your worksheet it has a question mark. Okay, so we want to figure out what is that second one, and also this one is harder than what is on your worksheet. Because is this one a step? No. This one, we have a space to a space, so we actually have one step in between there. So it'd actually go G, there's an A in between both of those, because once we get to a G and we're going up, you need to pay attention whether it's up or down. We're at the G and we go up, then there would be the A after that. And then what's after A, that'd be B. Okay, and if you take a close look at there, we kind of have we have that note that's in between those other 2 notes. Okay, so we go G, skip the A, and then there is the B. Okay, we're actually going to have the same sort of thing right here. All right, so we have our B. We have another step in between B and whatever this note is. Okay, so we were wanting to answer that one. What is that note right there? Okay, so to answer that, we need to figure out what is that other note that's between the B and our mystery note. So B, the note in between these 2 notes would be, what's right after B? C. Okay, that one would be a C. So let's line up the C right. Okay, so that would be our C. Okay, and so then we are able to figure out what is this last note up here. And that one is the D. Okay, so that one was our mystery note. All right, and this last one, it's going to be easier. This is more like what you have on your worksheet. We have an E, and then a step up. What's a step up from E? A, B, C, D, E, F comes after E. Great. Okay, so it's really easy going up because you're going forward in the alphabet. Now let's take a look at these that are going down, and they're going to be going backwards in the alphabet. Okay, so I'm going to say that this one is a G, and we need to go backwards in the alphabet from a G. Let's say that this one is an A. And let's say that this one is a D. Okay, so we have our G right here, and our mystery note, we need to know what that one is. What is one letter back from G? And this time I'm not going to take a look at the alphabet to see what it is, one to the left of G. I'm going to say my letters, and once I get to G, I remember the last letter right before G. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. F was right before G. Okay, so that's my step down from a G. Okay, we're going to say that this one is an A, and we need to step down from the A. All right, so this A, we go from an A. What's our mystery note here? Okay, what is backwards in the alphabet from A? Well, we start the alphabet with A. So what's before the A? Oh yeah, before the A, we're going to be going back to the G. So if it is a step down from an A, then the answer would be a G right there. All right, and now this one, we have our same problem of having the note between the other two notes. Okay, so we need to figure out what is that note right in between this D and whatever is there. So because we can see that our D to our mystery note is not a step. So we need to see what are the steps in between to figure out that last one. Okay, so we have our D, the step down from the D, A, B, C, D. Before D was C. So that's our step in between. Okay, and that one goes with that mystery note in between. And finally, we have step down from C, A, B, C, D. Wait, what was before C? A, B, C. Before C was B. Okay, that's what we were looking for, what was before C. Okay, so it goes D and then B is right there. Okay, that's how we use our letter names to associate with the steps up and down. Now, why this is important, I'm going to use the piano as an example, but pretty much any other instrument is going to have this same sort of deal. Okay, so on a piano, let me make sure you can hear me too. So on a piano, we have these different keys, and each key has its own letter name. So this one is an F. This one is a G. This one is an A. Okay, so we learn the letter names. Let me bring you back here. We learn the letter names on both the staff, and once you learn it on the staff, it never changes no matter which instrument you're using. And then we associate it with whichever instruments we are using. Okay, and for some of my classes, that means that you are singing, and what we usually do with singing is we hear the note and then we sing with the note. And so that letter name helps us tell an instrumentalist to play whatever that letter name note is. It also helps us communicate. Okay, we need to be able to sing this D better or higher, or you guys are singing a C, not a D. Okay, so that's how it's used in choir. All right, so I hope this was useful. I hope it was helpful. Remember, be better than you were yesterday.